few years ago on New Year's Eve, I decided to sneak into the rock quarry that is near my house and just hang out. It was pretty common for teenagers to sneak in there and smoke or do whatever. I didn't have any other plans, so I figured I'd just go and listen to music and think. I had been in there a few times with friends and nothing strange ever happened. Although admittedly, I was a bit nervous going alone this time since it was pitch black and a bit sketchy around there at night. Didn't really care though. I didn't have anything else better to do, and it was New Year's Eve. Hopped in the car and drove the 10 minutes that it takes to get to the quarry. I made sure to bring a backpack and a flashlight since it was pitch black around there, as I mentioned earlier. I knew my way around and had a spot off to the side where I just sit and listen to music for a while. In hindsight, I really don't know what I was thinking going in there alone, but at the time I didn't really care. Anyways, I got to my spot and turned on my speaker. The music was low enough to where I could hear if security or the police were around. After about 10 minutes, I heard what sounded like footsteps not far from me. I turned off the music and listened, but couldn't really hear anything. My first instinct was that it was security. I started packing up my things and reached for the flashlight. I turned on the flashlight briefly and looked around. I couldn't really see anything, but I wasn't going to take any chances. I started walking back in the direction of my car. On the way back, I turned and shined the light of my flashlight to the right, and there was someone standing behind a stack of wood plank-like things. I could only see half his body and face. As soon as I saw him, I sprinted in the direction of the car. I got in and drove straight home. The guy I saw there that night wasn't a security guard or the police. I'm 100% sure of it. That guy didn't belong there, and I have never been back there since, and don't plan on going there ever again. Last year, I went to a New Year's party with a few friends, and we were meeting up with some people at the party. When we got there, I didn't realize just how crowded this specific party would be. You could barely get inside the house, there was so many people. I wasn't much of a party person in the first place, but I figured I'd try to make the most of it. After a few hours of drinking and well past midnight, the party was still going strong. It was as if no one had left. I started looking around for my friends since I was already about ready to go, but I couldn't find them anywhere. I even tried calling them, but they didn't pick up. I was starting to think maybe they had left the party without me. I decided that I would just leave on my own and tell them later. I wasn't really in the mood. I was planning on walking to the parking lot where we had parked earlier to see if the car was there and then either just wait a bit or call for an Uber. I didn't really know what I was doing at this point and was pretty drunk. The area the party was in isn't the safest to begin with either. I was walking down this quiet, dark, and dead road at 1 in the morning. As I was approaching the parking lot, I heard quick footsteps right behind me. I turned around and some random older man grabbed me and started dragging me toward a parked car on the other side of the street. I'm a female, by the way, and don't have much strength, so I couldn't fight back. I tried to scream, but he had his hand on my mouth. By some miracle, I heard someone yell out to the guy. With the sudden attention, he let go and ran down the street. There was a group of people running towards me, some of them including my friends. I was mad, but at the same time relieved. We left immediately, and just tried to put the incident out of the mind ever since. I didn't have any plans for New Year's. My idea of a good time was playing Call of Duty with my friends, so that's exactly what I was doing. My parents were out, and my sister went to a party, so I was home alone. I didn't mind though. That meant I could be as loud as I wanted. I was in the middle of a game and heard a banging noise from downstairs. I took off my headset and listened briefly. Couldn't really hear anything for about 10 seconds, and then I heard it again. This time much louder with the headset off, obviously. It sounded like it was coming from the basement, like a box or something was being dropped on the floor. I knew 100% that I was the only one there. It was way too early for my parents or my sister to be back yet. I just went back to playing the game, but with one earphone out, on alert, listening for any other possible noises. About 10 minutes later, I heard a metallic-like noise from downstairs. At this point, I was sure someone was in the house. There was a 0% chance of me going down there, so I just locked the door and called the police. After what felt like forever, the police showed up and I went downstairs to let them in. They searched the entire house and no one was found. However, when we got into the basement, there were papers all over the floor and the outside door lock had been messed with, along with broken glass on the floor from the door. I still don't know if anything was taken, but I'm just fortunate the person didn't have any other ill intentions.